Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning everybody, fellow earthlings on planet Earth, wherever you may be at the moment. This evening's discussion, I'd like to ask your opinion because I've only just seen this. Omid Scobie has put out a tweet, and I'm not sure when he put this out, but I've only just seen this, and it's quite an interesting tweet. So I'll read it out to you. It's one of his latest, but the reply. Right, what date are we on today? 27th of November. So this is yesterday. He tweeted, "1 minute the Daily Mail is having a hernia about how disrespectful The Crown is," referring to the Netflix TV show. The next, they're paying for the serialisation of a book exposing the Queen's secret cancer battle just 12 weeks after her death. And then he goes on to say, "Personally, I think unless it came from the palace or Her Majesty the Queen herself, private medical details, which were always fiercely guarded, should remain just that. It should never be okay to make that decision for someone." Well, the second half of his tweet for me is a little odd, because a person who has passed on, who is deceased, can't make a decision of any kind, of any sort, to let anybody know anything. As for private medical details, I mean, when someone has passed on, it is a fact. They have passed. He seems very keen on privacy, you know, medical privacy. I understand where this tweet's coming from. I can imagine what's instigated this tweet. I sense that possibly Harry and Meghan, or both, or either, have been getting heat because people have been seeing this guy's book. I think he's called Giles, has brought a book out to talk about the last years of Her Majesty's life and private struggles, really to emphasise what a stoic lady she was. Imagine that. She was in enormous discomfort and carried on and did her bit. And where I think Omid is coming from, correct me if I'm wrong, Omid, but where I think you're coming from is some people will be saying, or maybe thinking, that Harry and Meghan hastened Her Majesty's demise. Well, people might think that. That doesn't mean that they did hasten her demise. It probably did add stress and pressure. And also Prince Philip. Omid, before the Oprah interview, a lot of the PR for Meghan was saying they're making it up. Philip's actually not that ill. He's just, the PR people are making out he's that ill. We're going ahead with the Oprah. It's going to air. CBS made that decision. It happened. That's the way things went down, Omid. And now there is going to be a discussion at the very least, or to have a conversation, as Meghan loves to say. What do you guys think? I think that Omid has put this out. Now, whether he's put this out voluntarily himself, or he's been asked to put this out, or it's part of a PR campaign, or a damage limitation campaign. From the point of view of the guy who's written the book, people very close to Her Majesty may have felt incredibly frustrated seeing her in private in great discomfort, with not only Harry and Meghan but other faculties in life piling pressure on her, and that she didn't want anybody to see that. And they may, now that she's passed, want to tell everybody and say, look, life was tough. Life sucks. We all know that. Life sucks sometimes, doesn't it? We try and make the best of it. And so, Omid, I never thought I'd see the day that I'd stick up for the Daily Mail, ever. because me and the Daily Mail don't get on. But they are a business, they're a newspaper. This guy's written a book. He is quoting historical people. He's saying stuff. And when it comes to private medical issues, Omid, okay, it was Meghan herself who came out and said that the horrible racist royal family made her feel suicidal and all that, and she was speaking her truth. You were positively celebrating that, and all of that was really hurting the royal family. Now, the thing is, my personal thing is not only free speech, but just as long as it's factual and it's not defamatory, especially with the royal family, because they are a historical record, it must be documented. It just must be there. It's like Princess Diana. For a long time, Omid, your team have been saying the late Princess Diana this, the late Princess Diana that, the late Princess Diana, and that suited your agenda. Now that somebody on Her Majesty's camp, or one of Her Majesty's quarters, is saying, well, this is this and that is that, you can't now say, well, that's inconvenient to our PR campaign. And the late Princess Diana did do the Panorama interview. How it came about, you know, that's another question. But the fact is she did do it. She did say stuff. King Charles did give an interview to Dimbleby. That is the way it went down. You can't change the way things went down. And one of the things about our royal family that's wonderful is their imperfection. They are not perfect. They're not really a representation of us, because none of us live in palaces or have jewels or crowns, but they have relationships, births, deaths, marriages, illness. They are sort of a representation of all of us. They are an extension of all of our lives. They are very much living in a goldfish bowl, including Harry and Meghan. How can you now criticise when your camp has been doing the My Truth and all this, now say how disrespectful it is for anybody from the palaces to start saying, well, actually, this is from our perspective of the story, and this is how historians work. There are historians and curators working in libraries with letters and stuff, still piecing together what happened with the Duke of Windsor, what happened with Henry VIII. This is a big part of the royal family. They are not the Kardashians, right? You can't smack a filter on, gloss through it, make it what you want for a PR agenda. That's not what it is. And I, for one, think that an awful lot of people who have family who have suffered from not only cancer but other illnesses, I think they might well appreciate hearing the levelling, that the Queen was a human being and that she was suffering pain, you know? So I don't care about Meghan and Harry and how inconvenient that is for their PR campaign, and that some people might think badly of them, that they were there appearing to kick her while she was down, like with Prince Philip. That's the way it went down. Those were the decisions that were made at the time, Omid. I'm afraid. That is the way it went down. You can't now criticise a newspaper like the Daily Mail for serialising a book that has been written by someone who appears to have been close to the situation. Anyway, as always, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Obviously, I can imagine a lot of comments are going to be about Omid, and try and keep it nice, guys. He's a human being also. He's a journalist. He's really played his role in, and that's something else I think about Omid. When I said months ago, don't be on the wrong side of history, what I meant was, you don't want to be thought of as a twat, don't act as a twat. Do you know what I mean? And the things that you said about Yankee Wally, etc., they were twatty things to do and say. Ellie Hall, I would remind you of the same. And as for Christopher Boozy, totally discounted. Don't even want to talk about him. And tomorrow I will give a bit of an update about Wally. Not that there's much to update, but I will give an update. In the meantime, what do you guys think? Do you think it's a bit cheeky of Omid to suddenly be criticising the Palace's side because there's a book that's come out that might make Harry and Meghan look bad? Or do you think, well, here you go, and there could be a lot more to come than they bargained for? Thoughts, opinions, as always. You always blow me away in the comments, so look forward to hearing that one. Thank you very much for listening.